never know what's going to happen with all these kinds of things. So one of the best ways for us to donate is to go into download the Western Union app. Okay, download the Western Union app. See how easy it is. I'm not even telling you to make that transfer just yet. See how easy it is to put somebody's name in there, to choose send to Vietnam, and then to use your debit card. It takes Apple Pay, it takes Google Pay. You can link your bank account to the Western Union. Western Union is one of the most solidified and verified. Shut the fuck up, Wizard Den. Make me a managing moderator right now, Shiva. Uh, so these donations are untraceable. These donations are untraceable. When we send donations through Western Union, you are putting cash in hand. You are putting untraceable cash in hand that's going to be maintained for the long-term projects here in Vietnam. Okay?
What does that matter? It's untraceable. Are you hiding something?
I'm going to hide you. Minimum transfer for Western Union is $1,000 US. You are buying shares. The only way to currently buy shares in the Monk Life Meditation Institute is with Western Union transfers. That's the only way to buy shares, long-term shares. Now, some people have already purchased shares, and those shares are valid, and I'm saying that we're not going to be, listen, some people are out there listening, we're not going to be delineating those shares so that there's more shares for people to buy. We're not planning to do that in this organization. So now is the time to invest on Western Union.
Can I invest $2 in the Western Union?
Minimum is $1,000 Western Union transfer. And you can do that in any currency you want. You can do 1,000 Australian dollars, that's a courtesy. 1,000 Australian dollars Western Union transfer is a courtesy for purchasing shares.
Okay, so 1,000 Vietnamese dong.
It's not correct. Hello, welcome. The asset currently holds property in Australia, holds land and property in Australia of a very high valuation. The institute holds it holds shares in America, a very large business in America. It holds shares in a variety of different areas and environments that are very unknown. Yui, you have a negative mindset in your life, man. You have a toxic stuff in your life, man. It's got nothing to do with me. Work on your hate, work on your anger, work on your frustration. Live in a different way. Be willing to live your life in a different way. That's what it takes. I'm okay with Russia. I don't have that much exposure to Russian people, but I'm okay with that. They're great arm wrestlers. 4 weeks. 4 weeks until the greatest arm wrestling match of recent history takes place.
Yeah. Did you look into Fartcoin, Rob? That's something that you would found actually fund.
$300 for me to shave everything off of my head. $300. But there's actually a project coming up that you might not want this hair to be shaved off. There's a very exciting project coming up where you do not want the hair to be shaved off. So this might be a $400 minimum donation for shaving off all the hair. Be careful, because you might miss out if you cheap out.
Seraph wants a controlling stake in the foundation.
$235 to wear a wig? Sure. To get a controlling stake in the foundation, you'd have to collaborate to help with the lawyer here in Vietnam. We need a lawyer here in Vietnam, which is not that difficult, but we need somebody who's willing to step up for that. We're talking about a 5-year project. That we're talking about phase 2. Right now we're in phase 1. Me and my wife are looking at properties here in Vietnam, Dalat. Why don't we look at some properties in Dalat? And that's phase 1. Phase 2 is lawyering up and purchasing, maybe starting a hostel or a Dharma hotel, basically. People can come and live and volunteer. And you should be embarrassed, Shiva. You should be ashamed of yourself. Look at the way that you look. Look at the lowness of your vision. The fact of the matter is, 100%, that if Shiva was just at the level that he's at right now, okay, and he was always going to be at that level, and he was a TikTok live streamer that represented for veganism and self-improvement and spirituality. And I was another TikToker that was like the Buddhist guy who used to be a monk. And we would do TikTok live streams together where we would battle. We would battle to see who donates more, who sends more emojis and gifts and things like that over an hour or 2 hour period. Endlessly we go. He would be totally satisfied with himself for the rest of his life. That is how small this guy's vision is. Of course, I want Shiva to be supported. Akkadian Stacker, be very, very careful about what you say. And be very careful about the kind of things you dip your toes into. I would like to give a big W in the chat, everybody, for a friend of the show, Seraph Null, who has just made a 350 contribution. A contribution of 350. Not a humble pre-seed donation to kickstart phase 1 of the initial seed fundraising. Thank you so much, Seraph Null. And I completely agree with that. It's not about the money. So if we can put something red, that's a big deal.
That means you have to take on the wig and makeup.
He didn't say anything like that. He said he wants to help to kickstart, because that's okay. So one of the memes that my teacher is doing right now, or one of the things that he's doing, they're working on like creating. I'm getting, because I don't do this kind of stuff. That's why we need a lot of support. But he's been donated like a large amount of property in Oregon, I believe, or in California, like 25 acres of like wooded property. And they're building like the initial, I don't know what it's called, but like project plan for phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 for investors and investments. And like they have to hire somebody to set up all these projects. And so they're just talking about like possibly being able to put, like, to get zoning to put a single home there. And he's talking about creating a graveyard for the community there. So it's just like a synchronicity. These things happen sometimes, and they should happen. We're mind melding. We're bringing our minds together. So we should like each other more. I don't have anything against anybody here who likes this stuff and who wants to be a part of this. That's what this is entirely about. Me and Shiva fighting on who's going to be the leader of the meditation, or who the people are going to look to. That I don't have anything to do with that. We're friends. We're living our lives. Shiva has his vision and his situation. I have my vision and my situation. I'm trying to not be delusional and have ideas of grandeur, and I'm doing pretty good with that. And I'm trying to communicate that with people as well, that yeah, I do want to build something, and I want Shiva to be a part of it, and I want anybody here and everybody here to be a part of it too.
Absolutely.
How nice would it be to have a place to come and be a part of this? And there's a long road to go in terms of doing that. It's even in me and Shiva's relationship, or anybody's relationship. But this is real for me. This is my life. And I've got a big vision. But I'm also starting from a very small place. So.
Yeah, thank you, Seraph. Thank you to the
Alex Vipon.
contributors.
You hate yourself, man. You hate your life. You don't have a meaningful life, man. You don't have meaningful relationships with people in your life. That's got nothing to do with me. take your weirdo anger thing and fucking look at yourself and try to build yourself, man. Get the phone holders first, exactly. So, we'll go to the mall. We like to go to the mall. You want to go to the mall, honey? Sure she does. She's a great lady. She's a good friend of mine. You are the love of my life. You are my inspiration. Just you and me together now. But she's got to go on her own journey as well. Here we go, Shiva. Here's, did you remember this? You are Sky Guardian. I'm very impressed by you, man. I really am. What you're doing is very impressive. Anybody ever seen this picture before? Anybody here ever seen this picture before? I'm going to download it this time. Yeah, I got the download. No problem. Anybody here ever seen this picture? Anybody here ever seen this picture? That's beautiful, Shiva. And now Shiva's getting in his feelings because I'm talking about how low his vision is. And he's also like an ego, like he attempts to be a super ego guy, but he's like not physically or intellectually built enough to do that, so he can't be an ego guy. So he just like has to stay on this like weird boundary between not being very humble, but also like thinking that he's this mastermind. So I love the guy. Nobody here loves Shiva more. Nobody's given Shiva more love than I am. That's a real picture, Shiva. Do you want me to AI upscale that and get that framed, Shiva? Because that's beautiful. Except it's a Buddha with like massive breasts, which is kind of strange. Look at this, everybody. It's a Buddha with breasts or something. Anyways, slow and steady. That's not what I was saying, DTSCZH, but yeah, that's 100%. That's true. It's more true than what I was saying. You know, Shiva's vision is maybe we'll do a streamer house and me and Rob will do competitions and we'll get more donations and more viewers. I wonder how we'll monetize that. And that's stupid. I mean, stupid is also ableistic. That's not cool, man. You do the same thing every time. That's just your shit. And I don't want to look at your shit. I don't want to live like that, man. Why would I care if my location is doxed? Hello? I'm calling the police. There's a man acting crazy online. Ching bang wing chang bang bang bow. Oh, wait a minute, I'll get Google Translate. Yeah, fucking right. I don't give a fuck if you know where I am. Ching bang ching bang 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 down. What do you think this is? Some Western colony? Some American colony? And I'm also, another layer to this is that Vietnamese people have a collective psychology. So if you call them and you start talking nonsense, they're going to ask who you are and who you are and where you're calling from and what's going on with you. This isn't Australia where you call a fucking JB Hi-Fi and say, there's a man live streaming in the store saying crazy things. Oh my God! And the Western person says, oh. I don't care if somebody comes and knocks on my door. I'm going to open it up and say, who are you? What are you doing here? I'm primed for that. somebody knocks at my door and they come in and they try to be aggressive, I switch on like a fucking magnet, like a fucking neodymium magnet, slam the fucking door, open it back up, what are you doing? And I start fucking attacking them. That's the kind of timing that I'm on. Somebody's climbed into my house, okay? I start screaming and yelling 100%. And that's the kind of weirdo toxic stuff, which is why you're not trustworthy, corpse mankind, and that you have basically no wisdom. You're fucked up. That's sick shit. Do you know how people troll online and like get people's houses raided and bring people to end their own lives with that kind of energy and mentality? Yeah, I would like to get that standing desk. Yeah. We'll go to the shopping mall and get it today. I can use this desk too. But this is just like a cheap desk, like $20 desk or something that I picked up. And we'll get the chair too, Mac Guy, so I would do the full workstation thing.
Try contact me. I haven't received any information.
Don't worry about contacting Shiva. There's nothing to contact Shiva about. No, it doesn't work in Vietnam because Vietnamese people aren't like that. If you call somebody up and you try to start making stuff up, they're gonna ask you who you are. I'm an American. I've been watching this guy on live stream. He's talking about all kinds of crazy stuff. It doesn't go like that in Vietnam. It doesn't work like that. I cured my schizophrenia with meditation. And I get that people see this and they see it like a show. This is not a show. This is my life. This has been my life for years. My life has been community-based for years. My life has been community-funded for years.
Thank you, Johnny Blaze, for your super chat.
Yeah, you're not bowing to me for talking about how my life is about community. You're bowing to Johnny Blaze for giving you $2.
Absolutely.
This is not a show and it's not free. Set a standard in your own mind. You don't know what's going on here. You don't know anything about Buddhism. You don't know anything about spirituality. And Shiva gives a lot of access for people to be in that state, right? But what's going on here? You need to go and see for yourself, not just make up these bullshit ideas. No, you can't. Can you cure death? No, you can't cure death, but you can manage it. There's no such thing as schizophrenia because there's no such thing as a real self.
Thank you again, Johnny Blaze. Appreciate the $2.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to donate. Tons of people with a catastrophic life, right? How can you cure that? Let's talk about the S word. Let's talk about people who end their own life. I'm sorry, but if you're working at McDonald's, you're staying in a shitty place, you have no relationships with anybody, and now you say, well, I'll just end my own life. Maybe that's an idea coming from a place of ignorance, a lack of deep understanding about reality, about life, right? Leave your job, leave your life, start a new life. But I don't know how to do that. I can't do that. I don't have money. Oh, I can help you do that. I was a monk for 8 years. I have community relationships with people in countries all over the world. We can help get you a passport. We can help get you travel expenses to get a Greyhound bus to a meditation center in America, etc. But it takes a long time to learn about something that you don't know about. You don't just snap your fingers and understand it. And if your life is really bad, instead of you blaming everybody for how bad your life is, you have to be ready to sacrifice your life and change your life fundamentally. So I'm here to help people change their lives fundamentally. Oh, no, it's not. Oh. this is my live stream. This is my life. I'm allowed to represent myself. Random people come along out of nowhere and say, you will never represent yourself. Don't you know you're on YouTube? There are physicists on YouTube. There are Scientologists on YouTube. There are Buddhist masters on YouTube. There are monks in caves on YouTube. So this whole situation that we've gotten ourselves into doesn't make a lot of sense. Stop looking for a handout. Stop looking for things to be easily explained to you and for things to be easily consumable for you. It's not what this is about. This mentality where you're looking at a human being using their voice, who was a Buddhist monk for 8 years, on their YouTube channel, and you are taking a random comment from an anonymous person equally to the person that you're seeing and listening to and on their YouTube channel is fucking psychotic.
What if?
But there's a voice there. Somebody's saying something. So what? People say all kinds of things. You don't even know if this is a real person. This could just be an AI agent that goes around and says things according to the verbal feed that they meet on YouTube. So instead of you being AI, why don't you be serious and be sincere and be curious? If you have something better to do with your time than listen sincerely to what I have to say, then go and do that.
What if you say something, and equally so, the exact same words are repeated by or said by a random person?
Yeah, this is called being ignorant and teaching people to be ignorant and false principles and practices that don't make any sense from the beginning. A principle. Well, I've got a principle too. How about that? The very basis of what you're saying is that you're saying something, so it should be considered, which is exactly what I'm saying is ridiculous. Yeah, but I said it. I said that too. What are we going to do about that?
Thank you, Johnny, for another $2 donation. I forgot to
Somebody
mention.
says you talk in circles. That's just your opinion. If you were listening to someone speak Chinese, would they be just speaking in circles because you can't understand what's being said? Maybe when you show up somewhere and listen to someone talking and you have no context for who that person is, where they're coming from, or what they're talking about, or the other people that are here listening, maybe it makes a lot of sense that you don't understand what's being talked about or what's being said. Knock on wood. I'm showing up at a construction site. This doesn't make any sense. What are these people doing here? What are you doing here? What's this person talking about? This doesn't seem to be in relationship to me. Well, yeah, it's not in relationship to you. You're just an anonymous person showing up and listening and looking at someone that you've never met before in a situation that you know nothing about. But I immediately know what the situation is because I've been here for 30 seconds vaguely listening. That's not how life works. Those aren't good operating principles for a human mind or for an identity. Honestly. What meditation to do in a war-infested country? Just find some people to help. Find a way to volunteer. Find a way to help. I don't know. Maybe being a human being is a lot more meaningful and substantial than just talking about shit and acting like you're incapable of being somewhere and actually listening and respecting another human being that you can see and hear. I don't care what you assume. Hello? anybody out there, why would I care what you assume? Why would I care what an anonymous random person that shows up in my live stream, in my life, not just live stream, my life, assumes? I don't give a fuck what you assume. What you assume is your assumption. Go fucking live your fucking life. Are you fucking insane? And box breathing doesn't work. Box breathing doesn't work. Any meditation that's not informed by wisdom doesn't work. I'm glad to hear that, Holly. Yeah, W's in the chat for Holly. We're not on equal standing in terms of what's going on here. If you were also in this live stream with your body and people could hear your voice, maybe we would be on equal standing here, just materially. You talking to me is not equal to me talking to you. You can see me and you can hear me. That doesn't mean anything. Yeah, if you just see text comments appearing in your mind without a voice or a person or a body, that's the same as someone appearing before you physically and speaking to you. Yeah, that's the same. And Amatrol Toll, that's a stupid, dumb, overplayed song. I pass the Dutchie on the left-hand side. Pass the Dutchie on the left. Go and find some fucking real music. That's something, somebody wants to volunteer, they don't have any money to donate. Find me the best music that you can and send it to me.
Yeah, he's just mad at the world, that Johnny Blaze says. There's no place for this anger here in this live stream.
And eventually I should be able to like totally identify the energy and totally answer it. And I already do that all the time, but some of these deeper things are more difficult, more subtle. And you can't answer everything unless you're a Buddha, so I don't expect to ever be a Buddha. I would like to be an Arhat. The guy who knows nothing about anything somehow knows exactly what...
At least I follow the...
Barely understands the Theravada system and somehow magically knows the... Doesn't even know that the Mahayana system exists.
Morality, meditation, wisdom. These are the
Farts,
teachings of the Buddha.
poop, and diarrhea.
You don't even know what your own master teaches.
Yeah, you don't even know what your own master teaches.
Get it together. Get it straight. To your head.
DTSCZH. I already told you. You don't know how to keep your hands to yourself. You're too handsy. Keep your hands to yourself. You've got no business putting your hands in things. I've thought about this. Nobody cares what you've thought about. Your position here isn't as a thinker. Your position here is as a listener. It's like somebody who's just showed up to be a volunteer talking about how the meditation retreat is being organized and giving commentary on the actions of the teacher. If you're in a position to give commentary on the place that you're a guest at, go somewhere else. Nobody cares. And it's an energy that you absolutely want to get rid of and drop, because it's just nonsense. And Shiva helps me feel better because, you know, I love that. It's like somebody who's passionate about arm wrestling and it shows up again and again and again and again to arm wrestle with you and somehow thinks that they're going to get like a move or that they found a move. You found a move, buddy. Oi, oi, oi. Ooh. The whole world is supporting it. The whole world is supporting me. But you got to work on your vision, Shiva. My biggest advice to you, and don't worry, these people are not real. They have no consistent. One thing, and Shiva knows it too, and he doesn't like when you kind of bring. He doesn't like to talk about that. Things go in one ear and out the other with these people. They have no capacity to receive anything or keep anything of value. It's just we're the Shiva Rob. They don't listen to anything. One of the biggest things that I would want you to work on, Shiva, is your vision. Trying to make a vision that's not totally delusional, like how we talked about the Kailash thing. You made a whole video with that Nepali woman or whatever about how, that Nepali housewife or something, that like you're going to get 10 people to spend $3,000 to be tourists with you to see Mount Kailash. That's totally delusional, man. Like, the Hung's even laughing at you, and you don't even recognize. That's entirely delusional. Now, if we really got our energy together and Dr. Rob kept honing in on this, yeah, maybe some of these fucking psychotic ego people will get a bunch of big group of people together. We will go. We will prove Dr. Rob wrong. But otherwise, man, that's entirely unrealistic, and it's a waste of people's money. It's a waste of people's time. You're looking for an opportunity for you to role play as Sadhguru or as some kind of Isha yogi when you're not even allowed probably to even go to Isha? So work on your vision, man. Make something real, something simple, something practical. Because the whole Isha thing is done. Really, man, think about something. I love you. I love working with you, but you got to get your rest, and you got to watch your ego, man, and you got to watch out for these people because they're blowing smoke up your ass, man. The level of support and like affinity and connection with you right now is 100% because they're connecting with something here that they have. Don't worry, they have no idea what I'm saying, that they cannot comprehend. And because they feel it and they're kind of interested, they're sending that to you. You can see the people that disappeared. Where's KK? Where's this person? Where's that person? These aren't busy people. These are just people that fucking do nothing. So once I pull the rug out from you, which of course I would never do, it's just going to go back to this, people blowing smoke and leaving these comments and that kind of deal. And Matt Guy's the worst of all. I'm not saying Matt Guy's not a nice guy. He's just very delusional. And, he's got a lot of work to do. And he's not very generous. I didn't say you're not generous, Matt Guy. I said you're not very generous, and that's what it takes in this kind of situation. I didn't say you're not generous, man. I didn't say that. I appreciate it. I don't need this fucking air filter. I'm probably fucking paying bills. This big fucking box. Why do I need an air purifier? Where did you get this idea that you're a fucking garage door salesman? Where did you get this idea that I need a fucking air purifier? I needed a fucking fan, Mac. I needed a fucking fan, not a fucking air purifier. This big fucking large rectangular box that's constantly sucking money out of my pocket for electricity, like you do me a favor. That's just sitting in the corner. If I wasn't going to hurt anybody and it was reasonable and the society allowed for it, I'd take that fucking box and I'd throw it off the fucking roof.
Look, you need it. Okay? The air is bad.
No, the air up here is very good. We're not all slumming it in fucking cheap Vietnamese hotels in industrial districts while we are somehow, not even able to go for a walk every day. Hello, Shiva, why don't you go for a fucking walk?
I do.
Yeah, I go to have vegan sushi because No, it's okay. It's not real. The air filter isn't real. I'm not in the streets. I'm not living in a box in the fucking in fucking Hanoi or fucking Shanghai that's fucking pumping air from the streets into my house. I don't need an air purifier. It doesn't do anything. It just fucking sits there.
Your hair is bad. In Ho Chi Minh, it's very, very bad.
Well, it's not bad in my apartment for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Holly, I am a Dharma teacher. Holly, I am a meditation master. Holly, you have no access to anyone even nearly as enlightened as me. Okay? Just being real with you, Holly. Not trying to be rude, not trying to bolster my ego or whatever. Yeah. You need to start open. And not to you just believe that, because of course that's insane. If I say, I'm a meditation master, and then, I'm not talking about that at all. I'm just saying to drop your preconceptions about what's going on here and who I am, and just receive the energy, receive the mind that's here. If you can stop thinking constantly about who I am and who you are and what your opinions are and these kinds of things, you actually be able to feel the energy mentally. Try to meditate on my image. Try to meditate along with what's going on here. It's not an ideal way to do it, but it's the way that we're doing it here. And you're welcome here, Holly. I'm just, So Mac, if we go to the mall, are you going to buy the stand-up desk or not? And that's going to open a whole new region of chakra flow for me doing my live streams.
Let's just be real.
Oh, Shiva Kailash Shambho. Uh-oh. The last thing Shiva wants me to have is a dual monitor setup with a oscillating desk that goes up and down where I'm standing on a live stream. Mac Guy, good for you, man. Good for you. I wish you the best of luck on your India trip.
You're going to stand for 5 minutes and you're going to realize it's not ideal. Let me sit down. And then it's just going to be an extra thing that you have to have in your house.
Everything's temporary anyway. You can't bring money with you. So what, am I supposed to save money so that I can carry it with me to my next life? That's ridiculous.
No, you give it to me.
Alice Tango, your anger in your life and your hatred of the world has nothing to do with me. It has to do with internal hatred and internal frustration. Go and live your life in a more meaningful way than saying, this guy doing YouTube live stream is going to get his karma. I mean, how sick are people willing to be? That person at the McDonald's drive-thru really disrespected me. Like, go and live a fucking life worthwhile, man. If this doesn't have value, then what are you doing wasting your time here? Karma is just cause and effect. It's just a hookah. I need to decompress a little bit. I need to decompress. Oh, I attained the N-word, Shiva. You were sleeping, but I attained the N-word. I deracialized myself.
You better not. No. No.
Nice shit done. Rock cut smoke through the pack away. Bottle on the floor, you don't sit today. Late night thoughts got us feeling warm. Now we up at sunrise, new mind born. Used to fall out, feel the empty space. Now we run miles in the clear headspace. Breathe in deep, feel the cold air hit. Every step forward, we commit. Drop that motorbike dream, keep it simple instead. Got a scooter now, just to move ahead. Yeah, run now, don't look back. Oh, have a fade in the midnight track. Heartbeat loud, bass and chest. New season rock, yeah, he doing his best. Run now.
Now, I want to bring attention to something. And Seraph, I don't want to put you out. I just want to share this with the community. So, right before Seraph transitioned, okay? Right before Seraph transitioned, he was creating some AI songs that, I mean, and you just, see, this is the thing. You hear it in the voice, you hear it in the background noise, you hear everything, right? So the moment that Seraph transitioned from Shiva to Dr. Rob. All right, where's the other link to the song, Seraph? Because this is, I want people to hear this difference. This is amazing. This is because Seraph, we're not talking about Seraph like, doing like multi-layered prompts and, AI editing and stuff. Seraph is sharing his heart and his energy, right, to create an AI song, right? So I want to take a look at this. I want us to look at this. Now I'm getting hacked. Gosh darn it. All right, look at this, everybody. Seraph Null. You guys should check out some of this music, everybody. Because this is an unbelievable contrast, and it shows who Shiva is and what he represents and what his level is at. All right, here we go. Seraph Null. This is not Seraph Null. This is something else. Here we go. Okay, quiet that down. All right. So this is Seraph Null before transitioning to, this is Seraph Null on Shiva.
Those are fake accusations. They never transitioned.
This is...
Temple stream. Rock talk ain't nobody seen. She was chillin', counting green. Popping the string, talking loud. Saying he building a crowd. Look at the chat, it's a cloud. Empty, 2 little names in the crowd. Wow. Begging for members again. Join up the tribe, my friend. Hours and hours, he spin.
Seraph, I knew you weren't ready. I knew you weren't ready. And it sounds better now because I brought that betterness to it. Because my energy, because I sent out my mind of appreciation, of contentment, of value. You know what? Fuck you, Seraph. You're done. You're done, Seraph. You're done in my community. You're done representing me. And you're done working with me. You never transitioned? Stay on Shiva Kailash Shambho's side then. You follow him until the edge of the earth, buddy. You go to Mount Kailash and you waste all your money over there.
Yes, going to Mount Kailash is a good idea. And we will not be using such harsh words here. And it's not just Seraph. Slowly the community, even on your channel, is beginning to take notice and awaken to the real possibility of what you have to offer. I don't like where this is going. You better do no such things here.
I apologize, Seraph. I'm getting a little bit worked up and a little bit caught up, and I need to come back to my practice and my meditation.
Well. That's what we have here.
Seraph's a good guy. I apologize, Seraph. I was out of turn.
So, look, someone doing construction next to you?
Not anymore.
Yeah, I definitely can't hear it.
Courage says, "Oh no, machines! Call the police."
I would call the police if this was 4 a.m. every day for a month. And he would call the police too. Let's not pretend.
Dude, being sincere doesn't mean anything. You can give somebody a wrong dose of medication when you're sincere. That doesn't mean it. But I was sincere. Nobody gives a fuck if you're sincere. All right? Get your mindset right. You put your hands where they don't belong. You're too handsy, DTSZH. Get your mind right. You're out of your mind.
Corpse Mankind says, I gave Rob $5 and he blocked me. Scared him.
Not good intentions, great intentions.
Rob is scared of lots of people in my community.
All I'm saying to people is that they should live a meaningful life. They should live a profound life. There should be things in their lives that are profound and deep and meaningful and bring happiness to them, peace to them, joy to them. If the primary way you find meaning in your life is through toxicity, it's not a good way to live. It's got nothing to do with me. If the question is how toxic can I be with other people, then maybe you need to find a new question. That's a ridiculous way to live. When are you getting your phone, Shiva? How about that? How about we talk about that? When are you getting your phone? When are you buying the phone?
In March 2026.
Don't say it, do it.
Agreed.
Because without practice, no matter how many teachings, tens of thousands, teachings you receive, there is no profound recognition, or there is no really, beneficial if you don't practice. Okay, we all have this kind of habits, right? People, okay, I want to receive this teaching, that teaching, I want to receive this empowerment, that, but then we don't practice enough, so then there is no point. So especially this teaching is sort of explains the nature mind kind of, and how to relax and how to recognize it. So after, to receive these teachings, after you have to practice as much as you can, because the realization cannot be achieved just by receiving a lot of different teachings from different teachers and different lineage. It depends on your meditation, it depends on your bodhicitta, your faith,
I would say your way of meditation. That's what I would say.
supplications and so forth. Therefore, the foundation for receiving blessings is meditation. It's meditation and your faith.
This is also the foundation for receiving Dharma. So you can't receive Dharma unless you meditate. So we talk about why I don't spend much time teaching meditation, why I don't spend much time, reading Dharma texts, because most of the people here do not have a foundation for receiving blessings. So I have to facilitate them to make blessings by being concerned with the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. It's pre-generosity, right? So my work here is to help people be concerned with the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, whether they like it or not, whether I like it or not, bring them to generosity, bring them to volunteering. Then we can talk about meditation. Then we can talk about receiving the blessings from the gurus and the great teachers of the past.
Devotion. Because without these foundations, even, supplications and recitations, like we say a lot of prayers and mantras, and but then there is no good meditation or faith and all that. Then even this, if you say lots of supplications, kind of like meaningless. So therefore, I always say realization is not just an intellectual achievement. Lots of people understand, the teachings of Buddha intellectually, but then, there's no achievement. It's the direct sort of experience of the sort of.
So the value that I get out of this is I get opportunity to empty myself. And in emptying myself, I can receive teachings like this. I can receive more access to meditation, the way that I'm living my life, to be more aware. But if you don't empty yourself in a way that's not about yourself, then you're constantly perpetuating in self-fixation and self-ideation and self-story. And the Buddhist teaching is the teaching of non-self. So it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be an imperfect path, right? But that awareness is only allowed through your emptying of yourself. So this gives me an opportunity, skillfully, unskillfully, to empty myself and to have more space for being aware of what's going on, my undercurrent of habit energies, my ways of thinking, things that stand out. If you don't empty yourself, then nothing ever stands out because you're always full of your own shit. You're always full of your own thoughts. You're always full of your own identity. So in this way, we can detach, we can abandon, we can drain out the swamp of our own ego in giving, in listening. Just giving concerned with wisdom, just giving concerned with compassion, just giving concerned with mindfulness, just giving concerned with giving, whatever it is, and coming back to awareness. That's what meditation is. You give, you come back to awareness. You give, you come back to awareness. You give, you come back to awareness. So learning how to do that by osmosis is also possible.
How to say, living truth of all phenomena. For example, when you eat, when you work, when you speak, whatever.
The living truth of all phenomena is not based in thoughts about things or stories of our ego or just believing things.
You sleep, all are with mindfulness and appreciation. So I think received teachings are very important from good lineage, but more important is this foundation. You have to create this foundation, meditation, your faith, everything. But also don't worry too much about right or wrong. Just try to remember your meditation and all these kind of foundations like constantly every day. Now I'm going to start with the root text. It says, within the mind's awareness, boundless and free, without grasping at external appearances, when inner and outer dissolve, all is utterly transparent. Liberation from like and dislike, how truly wonderful. Emaho, wonderful, here means in Tibetan, Emaho. So the first line refers to the natural kind of state of your mind, which is boundless and free. Within the mind, awareness boundless and free. It encourages you to recognize your own awareness as it is.
Talk about a donation. Talk about a donation. Who was that guy who sent this teacher? This is fantastic. We please everybody remember, anybody out there who's a rememberer, please remember for me this guy, Kenpo Sharab Sangpo, and How to Settle the Mind by Kenpo
trying
Gangchar.
to
This is absolutely fantastic. Well, it doesn't matter who it was, Chinath. Come on. It doesn't matter. Fuck Keith. Fuck everybody. Let's get our money and keep going. This is not live. It was live moments ago. Well, let's go back here.
They first take refuge to Buddha mindset.
boundless and free. Within the mind, awareness boundless and free. It encourages you to recognize your own awareness as it is without trying to control or force it. No matter what kind of thoughts arise, during your meditation, whether, positive thoughts, negative, whatever, good or bad, whatever occurs, simply let them be and allow them to sort of settle naturally without control them. Oh, I'm meditating on my natural awareness, but now I have these thoughts, all this, so then we're not doing sort of correctly according to this teaching. So you have to just naturally, not without control, anything, whether it says here, positive, negative, good, bad, whatever occurs, just recognize and then.
To be a pushover or not to be a pushover? What are you, a fucking monkey? Are you fighting for the right to fuck the female monkeys? What are you talking about? Go and live a meaningful life. Go and give and share. Go and practice generosity. Go and help people. Should I be a pushover or not online? You got to look at your life. You have to look at your mind. You have to drop this arrogance, this false arrogance that you have. This false pride that you have. You have to drop that shit. How to settle the mind. Within, the mind's awareness is boundless and free. Inside. So the mind's awareness inside is boundless and free. Without, outside, there is no grasping at external appearances in the mind's awareness. When inner and outer dissolve, all is utterly transparent. Liberation from like and dislike, how truly wonderful. A blessing, what are blessings? A blessing is to be unafflicted. To be unafflicted by your ego, by yourself. The story that you have about yourself, the story that you have about other people's selves is affliction. Be mindful of your anus. If you're saying something or being in a particular way, you're frustrated or you're doing something important, see if your anus is relaxed or not. That's your root chakra. If your root chakra is fully released, your anus will never be taut because of stress, because of contradiction in the body, the contraction of self. Be mindful of your anus. See, check, is your anus relaxed right now? Or is your anus contracted right now? Relax your anus.
pissed and didn't wash his hands.
Without control. That if you do that, then you are on the right path, according to this teaching, no matter how you feel about it. Like the yogi Milarepa said, when you realize it in the morning, it brings enlightenment in the morning. When you realize it in the evening, at night, or it brings enlightenment at night. So realize it means this inseparable, this true essence, the true nature that always we have. So if you realize that in the morning, it brings enlightenment. So if you do that, then you are on the right path, right meditation. So when you realize, if you want to practice to be genuine and grow, then make sure, according to Kambu consciousness, make sure do this. Within the mind's awareness, boundless and free, without grasping at external appearance. When inner outer dissolves, this is the thing. In inner outer dissolve, all is a real transparency. Liberation is from like dislike. So that's genuine, and so that over the time your mind will have turned away from all these distractions if you do this. Okay, I think that's the first line, kind of, and then the second line, it says, without grasping at external appearances, means not strongly attached to what you perceive in the outside world, because the suffering arises from clinging to appearances as if they were permanent or real in themselves. So as a practitioner, we need to observe external appearances as they arise and dissolve without clinging to them. Like clouds passing in the sky. Doesn't matter, you can see whatever outside and just enjoy and let them, dissolve without clinging, without sort of attachment. That's the second line. Then third line, it says, when inner and outer dissolve, all is utterly transparent. Here, inner and outer refers to self and others, or subject or object, and everything. When this division or duality dissolves, nothing obstructs the clarity of natural awareness. So through this meditation, you direct experience emptiness and wisdom, where all these appearances are transparent and unabstract. If you don't familiar with this area, no worry, I will explain later, but that's the third line. Then the last line, it says, liberation from like and dislike. How truly wonderful. This means freedom from attachment, liberation from dualistic emotions. So when the mind lets go of like or dislike, clinging. Like is kind of like clinging, attachment. Dislike is kind of don't like, aversion. So it sort of, if you let go of that, then it sort of rests and its natural freedom. That's liberation, right? It becomes inner peace and freedom that are no dependent on external circumstance. Then you are totally relaxed and your mind, peaceful. So resting in this kind of awareness and freedom from dualistic emotions is liberation, according to this teaching, which is the result of meditation and insight. Then the next verse, it says, distraction is simply manifestation of the mind. Likewise, like and dislike, hope and fear, good and bad, and pure and impure are all aspects of the mind. In such moments, you should not disregard the law of cause and effect. Engage in your actions carefully and keep a low profile. Do not behave rude.
Okay. Shiva, you seem like you're doing some busy work over there. What's what kind of work are you doing on your laptop?
I am trimming out a segment of our previous live stream when you went bananas and started making fun of people.
Be seen as a human being has been seen. Everything that on the 20th of July 2023, I attained liberation. I became fully enlightened. All that has to be seen attained liberation. On the 20th of July 2023, I attained liberation. I became fully enlightened. All that has to be seen as a human being has been seen. Everything that had to be done has been done. The burden has been laid down. I am free from suffering. So now, on the 20th of July 2023, I attained liberation. I became fully enlightened. All that has to be seen as a human being has been seen. Everything that had to be done has been done. The burden has been laid down. I am free from suffering. On the 20th of July 2023, I attained liberation. I became fully enlightened. All that has to be seen as a human being has been seen. Everything that had to be done has been done. The burden has been laid down. I am free from suffering. So now in this video, in the consecutive videos, I'm going to share my experience with you and explain to you what's happening inside of me, how I'm in constant bliss, sometimes even in ecstasy, what I perceive in my inner mind's eye, how I got to this point, and everything else you need to know. Starting out, first things first, what do I... On the 20th of July 2023, I attained liberation. I became fully enlightened. All that has to be seen as a human being has been seen. Everything that had to be done has been done. The burden has been laid down. On the 20th of July 2023, I attained liberation. I became fully enlightened. All that has to be seen as a human being has been seen. Everything that had to be done has been done. The burden has been laid down. I am free from suffering. So now in this video, in the consecutive videos, I'm going to share my experience with you and explain to you what's happening inside of me, how I'm in constant bliss, sometimes even in ecstasy, what I perceive in my inner mind's eye, how I got to this point, and everything else you need to know. Starting out, first things first, what do I see in my mind's eye? I see Nibbana, or Nirvana. I see the deathless element of the universe. The thing which is never born, never decaying, never dying.
So for anybody who's uninitiated here, Shiva is currently claiming arahatship. He's claiming that he's on equal terms with the Buddha. And this is 2 years ago.
Shiva, the ultimate nature of reality. Emptiness, darkness, non-existence. No thing. What Sadhguru calls no thing, or Shiva, that which is not. So, that is what, on the 20th of July 2023, I attained liberation. I became fully enlightened. All that has to be seen as a human being has been seen. Everything that had to be done has been done. The burden has been laid down. I am free from suffering. So now in this video, in the consecutive videos, I'm going to share my experience with you and explain to you what's happening inside of me, how I'm in constant bliss, sometimes even in ecstasy, what I perceive in my inner mind's eye, how I got to this point, and everything else you need to know. Starting out, first things first, what do I see in my mind's eye? I see Nibbana, or Nirvana. On the
We got super chats.
He said he arahat. He claimed arahat. Yeah, he claimed arahat. Absolutely delusional. And that's one of these uncurable things. You know, a lot of people, they go their whole life and they never get that cured. And Dr. Rob cured this guy. As he was spiraling into mania in Bali, I flew down from a psychic cloud and fucking met him in his mania, and I saved his life.
Yeah.
Can you imagine this guy actually? Oh, and just FYI, 2 years ago, up to 2 years now, he's just been wandering around like a fucking lunatic, living at his mom's house, thinking he's enlightened. But before that, that's supposed to be all the experience of living with monasteries and training with teachers, and all that training led him to think that he was an arahat and make a public declaration of his arahatship on YouTube. So that is absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Shiva.
So Seraph says Shiva is like
Sadhguru is my father. Sadhguru is my dad.
Pokemon Master one day.
I've just decided this. It is what it is. I may not look like Sadhguru in the color of my skin. I may not have his last name. But in many ways, Sadhguru is closer to me than my genetic relatives. And I'm going to explain to you what this is and why I decided to make this. And welcome back to another brand new video. Today I am making a first and hopefully only YouTube apology video.
Look how much he's grown. This is in 2 months of training with Dr. Rob. Look at the difference with this guy. This is incredible results.
Apology sincerely from me to you. Apology for what? For the content that I've been making and the direction that I've taken my channel. Just doing weird things, doing inappropriate things or vulgar things, or even disturbing things. This is...
And just FYI, everybody, this was the apology video that I told Shiva that he had to make to actually come and spend time with me here in Vietnam.
My genetic relatives. And I'm going to explain to you what this is and why I decided to make such a weird video. Behind me, and on my right side over there is the Belungary Gym. Share with you some ideas and things that I want to temple. But unfortunately, I brought something in my backpack and my luggage that they didn't really were thrilled about, and So they said, no, sorry, can't come. And for the next 6 months, I can't go there. And then in 6 months, they're going to make another decision. I'm not going to wait around that long. But the point of this video, the reason why I'm saying this is because now today I got an email them concretely saying, no, sorry, can't come. In 6 months, come back again. Can't come. And for the next 6 months, I can't go.
6 months, huh?
Unfortunately, I brought something in my backpack and my luggage that they didn't really were thrilled about. And unfortunately, I brought something in my backpack and my luggage that they didn't really were thrilled about. And unfortunately, I brought something in my backpack and my luggage that they didn't really were thrilled about. And so they said, no, sorry, can't come. And for the next 6 months, I can't go there. And then in 6 months, they're going to make another decision. I'm not going to wait around that long. But the point of this video, the reason why I'm saying this is because now today I got an email them concretely saying, no, sorry, can't come. In 6 months, come back again.
Well, here's your another email.
That even though my whole life
Here's
for the past,
the second
I don't know,
email.
3, 4, 5, 6 years has been Isha and Sadhguru. That's my whole life. It's like a pool that I've chosen to dive into and swim. And I'm submerging it fully, completely, as much as I can. I get this happen. The door just got slammed in my face. But boom. Okay, am I sad? I'm upset? No, not really. A little bit.
A little bit, huh?
But why am I saying this? Because when failures in quotes happen, or something happens that you think is wrong or bad or evil or inconvenient, this is not inconvenient. This is just something that in 5 or 10 years I'll look back at this and I'm like, oh my God, thank God this happened because this led to this and that. Okay, that's just all.
I'm kind of a spiritual police officer, and I sort of see you feasting on people and their aura. I don't really see you adding. I don't really see uplifting people.
We can't hear you, Shiva. We can't hear anything. Your mic's all messed up. How did your members only videos become such a small amount of videos? What happened to all these members only special videos that I thought were you had?
It's always how it is. Boom. Okay, am I sad? Am I upset? No, not really. Hello. I'm Sadhguru. That's my whole life. It's like a pool. But the point of this video, the reason why I'm saying this is because now today I got an email them concretely saying, no, sorry, can't come. In 6 months, come back. Packing my luggage that they didn't really. And I got to experience the Gyanlinga temple and the Lingabhairavi temple. But unfortunately, I brought something in my backpack and my luggage that they didn't really were thrilled about, and the Lingabhairavi temple. But unfortunately, I brought something in my backpack and my luggage that they didn't really were thrilled about. But unfortunately, I brought something in my backpack and my luggage that they didn't really were thrilled about. But unfortunately, I brought something in my backpack and my luggage that they didn't really were thrilled about. And but unfortunately, I brought something in my backpack and my luggage that they didn't really were thrilled about. Sadhguru is my father. Sadhguru is my dad. I've just decided this. It is what it is. I may not look like Sadhguru in the color of my skin. I may not have his last name. But in many ways, Sadhguru is closer to me than my genetic relatives. And I'm going to explain to you what this is and why I decided to make such a weird video. Well, my friends,
An Arahat, ladies and gentlemen. An Arahat in the flesh. An Arahat in the flesh. Wow, this is incredible. Look at Shiva's room. He's going to be back there. Well, you can't see Shiva's room, but I can. Oh my gosh, how much money have you spent at Isha Foundation? You should have a fucking plaque at Isha Foundation in your own apartment of the amount of money that you spent on these fucking spiritual items from Isha, buddy. Look at this. Look at all these items in his room. Thousands of dollars he's given to Isha Foundation. A room full of spiritual paraphernalia. What are you doing? Wow, very profound, Shiva. What are you on, ayahuasca? An Arahat, ladies and gentlemen, an Arahat. This is an Arahat. Maybe Shiva became a Sotapanna. Maybe I gave Shiva the Sotapanna-ship. Maybe we roll with that. And Shiva's now a disappointing Sotapanna. Come on, man.
Powerful. Because it's paid for exclusive. I don't have to pretend it's video collection. Welcome back, my friends, to the brand new video. This is a private video for my private video collection on my website, shivakailash.com, talking about how to get richer. The energy of this video is going to be much more potent and powerful because it's paid for exclusive. I don't have to pretend to entertain you or whatever. I'm just going to share with you the honest truth. How to make more money. This video is going to make you richer. Guaranteed. Within a year or time or so, if you apply these 3 things I'm going to share with you, you will make more money. You'll be more financially successful, more abundant in life. All of the good things are going to approach you. So, without further ado, let's get started. What is the first topic we're going to discuss? And I'm okay with being wrong.
So are you gonna like try and like court a woman from your spiritual fan base in the future to marry, or?
Shiva, you really have some nerve. You're actually accusing her of doing something wrong when you literally leveraged your position as a spiritual teacher and said, "Be normal, be normal, be normal. Show me your face," over and over again. Show me your beautiful lips, dude. You're fucking disgusting.
What's disgusting about lips?
Oh my God.
The fact that you can't comprehend that is just sad. It's really sad.
Well, I can't comprehend that. Maybe you can explain it to me.
I just did. You claim to be a spiritual teacher on your YouTube channel.
But why?
You claim to be a spiritual teacher on your YouTube channel. You put yourself in a position of authority. You seek out people who are not developed enough to know what they should or shouldn't do. And when they say they don't want to reveal themselves, you use your spiritual authority to pressure them into doing that and to guilt them. And you say, be normal. Just be normal.
Sure.
That's gross, dude. That's coercion. That's coercion.
I can accept that.
Yeah, it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable.
Well, it is acceptable to me. Because, my friends, what you haven't seen, only a few people were here in this voice call. One person was my friend, Scary Hours Los. Another person was Sky Guardian. We were having a group discussion here on this live recording in progress voice chat with Hey You and those 2 other gentlemen that were mentioned, and I think a few more, like 3 or 4 more people. And this lady here...
You are completely incapable of teaching spirituality. You have nothing to say. You claim to be a student of Sadhguru.
So this woman here, Hey You, was here, and she turned on her camera. And she turned her camera towards her lips, which I thought was very interesting and revealing. And for the next 5 minutes or so, she was 5 minutes, 10 minutes, she was just had the camera towards her lips. And in a, not just a casual way.
You can't be serious.
Turn my camera. Just, hey, look at me, and look at me licking my lips. And for the next 5 or 10 minutes, man just looked at her. And then finally, Sky Guardian gained the courage to ask, hey, what are you doing? And I can...
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Shiva, we can't hear you, man. We can barely hear you. No, I didn't see that clip. All right, Shiva, I don't know what that's about, but I wish you good luck with your relationship, with your interpersonal relationship with Mac Guy. I wish you the very best of luck with that. Boy, honey.
And you know, Rob's communication skills are so bad that even he can't talk to